Welcome to the Restricted Handling Podcast. This is what's been going on in China in the past 24 hours. First up, we're seeing a shift in China's military activity around Taiwan. If you were tuned in yesterday, you might recall we mentioned China's frequent military flights near Taiwan. Well, here's an update. For the past 12 days, China has kept its military jets grounded around Taiwan. This is a stark change from the usual daily presence of Chinese planes. The only flight in that stretch occurred last Sunday when two planes were seen briefly approaching Taiwan. Now, some of you might be wondering if this is a move towards de-escalation, but hold your horses. While the air activity has dropped, China's naval presence has not backed off. The Chinese Navy is still operating near Taiwan, making sure to keep its muscle flexed. Some analysts are speculating that China may be trying to avoid stoking tensions too much ahead of the upcoming summit between President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Trump in April. Maybe China's just trying to keep things calm before that high-stakes meeting. Either way, we're all watching closely to see what happens next. Now, shifting gears to China's relationship with North Korea. Remember yesterday when we mentioned that Beijing's been ramping up engagement with Pyongyang? Well, there's more news on that front. Starting on March 12th, China has resumed passenger train services between Beijing and Pyongyang after a 6-year break. The first train departs this week, and though it's primarily a symbolic move, it signals China's continued commitment to its relationship with North Korea. The rail service, operating 4 days a week, connects the capitals directly and plays a crucial role in strengthening people-to-people ties. Given China's long-standing interest in maintaining regional stability, especially in the Korean Peninsula, this train is more than just about transportation. It's about ensuring China doesn't lose its foothold in North Korea amidst the ongoing regional shifts. Speaking of China's influence and control, on March 12th, the National People's Congress passed a new law aimed at promoting ethnic unity. The Promoting Ethnic Unity and Progress law officially mandates that Mandarin be used as the primary language across all government functions and in schools nationwide. In fact, Mandarin must take precedence in public spaces over minority languages, pushing for further integration of China's 55 officially recognized ethnic groups into the dominant Han Chinese culture. Critics are already calling this a step toward forced assimilation, with concerns that it will erode the identities of ethnic minorities like Tibetans, Uyghurs, and Mongols. As much as China claims to respect its minority groups, this law is another signal of the CCP's desire to centralize control. This move is especially relevant given Beijing's track record of cracking down on ethnic minority autonomy in places like Xinjiang and Tibet. It's clear that Beijing wants to tighten its grip, and the new law makes that ambition a legal mandate. Now on to China's defense budget. We've got a quick update here too. The Chinese government has ramped up its military spending for 2026 by 7%, bringing the total to roughly $277 billion. This is part of Beijing's ongoing effort to modernize its military, especially in the face of growing regional tensions. While it's a relatively modest increase compared to the double-digit jumps we've seen in the past, it's still a substantial boost. China's focus is on strengthening its technological edge, with an emphasis on AI, cyber capabilities, and next-gen weapons. You might remember we've talked about how China's military presence, particularly around Taiwan, has been growing. Well, those new destroyers we've discussed, they're just the tip of the iceberg. This increase in military spending shows that China's gearing up to sustain its ambitions well into the future. Let's talk about China's growing cyber footprint, too. As we've noted before, China's pushing the boundaries of what's possible in cyber warfare. And this isn't just some abstract concept anymore. In fact, China's now deploying agentic AI systems that operate with little to no human input to conduct cyber attacks. This AI isn't just fast, it learns from its mistakes, becoming even more effective over time. Chinese hacking groups, often tied to the PLA and the Ministry of State Security, are using these systems to target critical infrastructure, government agencies, and defense contractors. It's like China's military has leveled up in the cyber realm, moving beyond the traditional hack and leak strategy into something much more sophisticated. These AI-driven cyber attacks are happening on a massive scale, and they're quickly becoming one of China's most formidable tools in the geopolitical chess game. A quick update from the Strait of Hormuz. Tensions are still high with the Iran-Israel conflict, disrupting global shipping routes. The strait is at a standstill, creating a supply chain headache for China, which gets half its oil from the Middle East. Instead of military intervention, China is pushing for peace while quietly managing its investments. Meanwhile, its Liaowang-1 intelligence vessel is patrolling the strait, monitoring military movements as the situation remains tense. China's not directly involved, but it's staying vigilant. Now, here's a new development that's catching attention. China's Ministry of State Security has taken steps to bolster internal security even further. After a series of high-profile incidents involving espionage and intelligence leaks, China has announced a crackdown on any unauthorized sharing of sensitive state secrets, particularly among those working in high-tech sectors. This new policy mandates that engineers, researchers, and anyone in defense sectors must be even more cautious with the information they access or share, knowing full well that foreign intelligence agencies are always watching. It's an effort to prevent leaks and to close any potential cracks in China's internal security apparatus. The ministry is pushing for more stringent oversight, with employees being required to sign even stricter confidentiality agreements. This could have significant implications for anyone working in China's burgeoning tech and defense industries, as the government clamps down even harder on what gets out and who gets to know what. The goal is clear: maintain a tight grip on their internal operations and make sure no critical information gets into the wrong hands. Now, jumping over to Russia, and here's a twist in the classic Russia-China alliance. As the situation in the Middle East continues to unfold, we're starting to see some cracks in the Russia-China relationship. While Russia is pushing for a more aggressive stance against U.S.-Israel actions, China's been playing the peacekeeper, calling for calm and staying out of the conflict. It's like a band that's supposed to be playing in perfect harmony, but one of the members keeps straying off key. Russia's got its eyes on confrontation, while China's doing its best to stay neutral. This divergence is something to keep an eye on because it shows that the Russia-China alliance isn't as solid as it used to be. As if things weren't complicated enough, India's been making some moves too. As the current chair of the BRICS group, India's been walking a fine line. While they've avoided choosing sides in the power struggle, they're keeping a close watch on China's every move. Particularly in the South China Sea, India's been boosting its military capabilities, preparing for any potential escalation. India's got a growing military presence, and it's clear that they're keeping a sharp eye on China's increasing aggression in the region. They don't want to get involved in a fight, but they're making sure they're ready if things go south. And in the world of espionage, Australia's dealing with a juicy case. A businessman, Alexander Shergo, is currently on trial for allegedly giving China sensitive information about lithium supply chains and, wait for it, AUKUS and the Quad Alliance. He claims it was all open-source data, but we know the drill. It's classic spy stuff. China's been accused of gathering intelligence like this for years, and Australia is not sitting back. The country's ramping up counterintelligence to keep an eye on these kinds of operations. It's a high-stakes game, and this trial is just one chapter in the ongoing spycraft drama. Thanks for listening and being part of the RH community. Please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. If you want to see some changes, email us at info@restrictedhandling.com. We also publish a daily written intel brief on Substack, where you'll find even deeper coverage of Russia and China, along with insights on Iran, the Middle East, and the DPRK.